Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Reds, the show where we talk about all things football and Liverpool related. A lot has gone on in the last 24 hours. The big elephant in the room, obviously, Alexander Isak and the Ekitike business. We're going to get into all that. We've got some Darwin Nunez business. We've got Luis Diaz business. There's a lot to get into. So first of all, the big elephant in the room, reported by Fabrizio Romano last night. Liverpool have made club-to-club approach with Newcastle to discuss a record bid for Alexander Isak. Now, Nard, what are we thinking about that?
Well, it's going to happen, isn't
it? You think?
All I think is, I don't think that Richard Hughes, who's close to Eddie Howe, would have pursued this if there wasn't something being said or Isak said something. But news on the street is that Isak's not said no to Liverpool. Ultimately, we say the clubs have the power. Yes, the clubs have the money, but ultimately the power lies in the player. I don't think he'll hand a transfer request in.
Oh, okay.
But
interesting.
I think you could have a conversation with the chairman, like, you know,
a little man-to-man conversation.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And then in the past couple of hours, it was reported by David Ornstein that Liverpool contact Frankfurt over a possible move for Ekitike. Having also approached Newcastle for Ekitike as well. Newcastle want to keep Isak and pursue the interest in Ekitike for around £75 million. We spoke about this on the show a couple of days ago. Having Ekitike and Isak, for me, in that Newcastle team just isn't going to work.
No.
Now, it's a lot of money, as we said, on a gamble for Ekitike or to play second fiddle to Isak, which personally I don't think Ekitike will do. So I think one stays, one goes, or we don't know what's going to happen with that.
I mean, like, do you not think, Jake, you'll agree with me on this, right? Like, there's a lot of things come out. I'm doing a live myself after this on my own channel.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of what the noise around like Newcastle and stuff at the minute is like, oh, we'll play two up front. That is not going to happen. You're not going to drop one of the best midfields in the league to play two up front. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You've just bought Anthony Elanga. You've got Gordon on the left and Harvey Barnes. That is shut up, closed off there. No chance anyone's going to go out to the left. Right wing, you've obviously got Jacob Murphy and backup. He had an actually really good season last season. He's great backup for Elanga.
No.
Like, there's just no way Newcastle are going to drop Joelinton, Tonali or Guimaraes, because that is like the engine room. You know, that's like what makes them tick, basically. Like, Isak wouldn't get them chances that he does. Gordon wouldn't get them chances that he does if it wasn't for them being so solid in the middle. And I think, like, I get that they've got Champions League and I get like they're trying to do that the next step. Like, you know, I say all the time, they've never attained top four. They've never done that. They've never attained the Champions League places. So them getting Ekitike, yes, if they have Isak and Ekitike, that is brilliant for them. But this is what I'm referring back to. It lies in the player. Why would Ekitike go and play for Newcastle when he could go and play for Liverpool or go and play somewhere else as a first choice striker?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You just wouldn't do that. You know, unless you pay astronomical wages, which, believe it or not, as much money as they've got Newcastle, they don't pay astronomical wages. So why would he do it? There's no reasoning behind it. There's no reasoning. Simon was saying they put Elanga right wing back.
Yeah, as you were saying, I don't think Newcastle are going to change their whole way.
No.
It's a really random move, this Ekitike thing. And I'm going to talk about Liverpool now, obviously, because, you know, someone's toyed with the idea, a German newspaper by the name of Bild, that Liverpool are toying with the idea of attempting to sign Isak and Ekitike in a deal which was cost in the region over 200 million. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm trying to think if Liverpool have ever played two up top. I'm going back to like Brendan Rodgers, even Roy Hodgson days. We've always sort of had, in the quotation mark, because obviously formations chop and change and players roam. We've never really gone for two out-and-out strikers. Yes, years ago you had the Firmino, Mane, Salah thing, but they're wingers. They're not strikers. So I think I don't really know about that one. Signing Isak and Ekitike. I think it's either going to be one or the other.
You see, Liverpool would be the club that would sign 3 players like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you play second fiddle. There's a difference between playing second fiddle at Newcastle and there's a difference playing second fiddle at Liverpool. Like,
oh yeah.
Different. Yes, we're in the same competitions. However, the stature of Liverpool and the European Cups just say it all. Like, there's the most anyone's got in England is 3, apart from Liverpool at 6. Liverpool double the amount,
doubled.
So, and most league titles, share United, obviously, and the most trophies. You go into a club that is most decorated club in the whole country, and with Liverpool, I always think if Liverpool did go and do that, that's just that is, to quote what Rory Talks Football said, is waving your schlong about it.
It's showing off a little bit, and just saying, "Oh, if you're not going to give us Isak, we'll have both." It's showing off a little bit.
I was just watching before I come on. I was just watching a few videos on YouTube. Come up, and it was about how Liverpool can how Liverpool can realistically sign Ekitike and Isak if they wanted to, if it was possible, and be still PSR compliant. Like, there's no
worry there at all. We've made the money.
Like, if we sell Luis Diaz as well, which it looks like it's going to happen, we get bill for Luis Diaz. That's like what, over 3/4 of the 2/3 of the Isak money.
Well, if we can sell, let's say in an ideal world here, which we know football is not ideal.
No.
Let's just say on paper here, we've got Harvey Elliott. He's looking at going out 40 million. Luis Diaz, let's say he goes for 60. And you got Nunez goes to 50. Well, there you go. There's the Isak money straight away. But in an ideal world, would that really work? No, because obviously we'll get onto Diaz in a bit. But yeah, as I said, in an ideal world, that would happen. But it's quite interesting as well because Fabrizio Romano has reported that Alexander Isak is Arne Slot's first choice and Richard Hughes' first choice. So if you're Ekitike and you're reading that, obviously I know football's a business, but for me personally, if I'm Ekitike and I'm like, right, Newcastle want me, Liverpool want me, and then I'm hearing, Arne Slot prefers Isak, as an ego thing, I'm going to go, I'm not going to Liverpool then. Stuff that, I'll stay where I am. I'll go where I'm wanted. If Newcastle are pursuing a stronger interest in Ekitike, surely he'll say, I'm going where I'm wanted.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't think Ekitike is in a position where he can be like that.
To call the shots, yeah.
All the shots, he's had half a good season,
if we're being generous.
Isak's had an unbelievably good season in La Liga with Sociedad in 2021.
Yeah.
First season was okay at Newcastle. The last 2 seasons he's been unbelievable. He's had 3 out of at 25. He's had 3-4 good seasons, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say he's had an all right season. He got 10 goals. He was injured a lot that second.
He had an okay one, didn't he? Started off quite bad, then he picked it up. Then towards the end, I think he dropped off a bit again.
But Isak's in the position where he can turn around. Isak could do that. If it was Isak who was in Ekitike's shoes, he can do that because he's had them good seasons behind him, and he's also second in the Premier League goal scoring charts behind Mo Salah. He's been that for 2 seasons. You're sort of looking at if you're Isak, go to the next step. That means me trying to overtake Salah or Haaland, and where better to do that would be Liverpool. Ekitike, I don't think you can call the shots. Yeah, you're right with that. But it's weird to say, isn't it? You want to be first choice. I
think everybody does, but he is only 22. He's looking at, he's never played in England, so I think he's going to get whatever comes, to be honest. We've got a comment coming in from Kenny saying, here we go, let me get it up. Isak will not go this window. The board wouldn't dare do it. Would be outrage. Maybe next season, still 3 years on his contract. If he has another great season, his price won't come down. I do agree with Kenny there. I've said all year, all season, Isak's not coming. It's always been just a little wind up for Newcastle fans, but the last 24 hours, it's looked more likely than ever, to be honest, with everything that's going on. So, I mean, if he does have a really good season with Newcastle, is he going to want to leave even more? Because then he's gone, right. Say Newcastle win the FA Cup this year. He's done the Carabao and the FA Cup. I don't think Newcastle are going to be anywhere near the Champions League. I think they're missing just too many signings, and I think it's so competitive. You know, with the likes of Liverpool, Barca. You know, look at PSG as well. Like, what form are they? And even Chelsea. Like, Chelsea just swept them aside the other day. So I don't think Newcastle are going to be competing for that. And the Premier League, I think, you know, Liverpool, City, and Arsenal, I think it's going to be a three-way race. So I can't see him in a title race. If he does win an FA Cup with Newcastle, is that going to be more of like okay, I've done my best here. Now I need to go to the next step.
He can do that now, though, can't he? Really, like, he can turn around and say, "Look, I've won you the Carabao Cup."
Yeah, true.
I've won you the first trophy you've won in how many years?
I think like 17 years.
You know, a long time, 60, 70 years, whatever it is. It's not laughed at Newcastle. It's just, you know, that's what happened. But
yeah.
You know, with what he can do this season, I disagree with his stocks will go down no matter what. Like, if he has a good season next season, he's got 2 years left in his contract. Money, football. Like, that's what it is at the minute. Like,
yeah.
If you've got 2 years left, Liverpool will not pay 130 million. You're maybe looking around at 100 million there. So, is it worth 30 million to keep from Newcastle? Is it worth keeping Isak if you can potentially win an FA Cup? Certainly, it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the money invested into Newcastle, they're going to be in a real battle for that top 4 this season. More than last season. Like, I think it's going to be really tight there. You've got, like you said, Chelsea. Yeah. You've also got, you know, Villa be sniffing around there as well. You know, you've got all them teams sort of going for that top 4. It's going to be very difficult. No offense to Eddie Howe, I think Unai Emery is definitely a better manager than him.
Oh, 100%, yeah, without a doubt. You got to look at Spurs as well. This season, they've got Thomas Frank, could be getting in Gibbs White. You know, they've got Kudus. They're going to be back up there. So that's another team in that top 5, top 4 race. That I don't know, man. Newcastle just need a couple more signings. I think. I was just about the Ekitike stuff. You're not going to drop Tonali, Bruno, even Joe Linton. You're not going to drop him because on his day he's not a bad player. So it's one of them. But if you're asking me personally, okay, we'll ask you first. It's a pretty obvious answer. Isak, Ekitike.
Isak.
Isak. Yeah, I thought so. I just think Isak suits us a lot more than Ekitike. You know, we throw this word around. He's prem proven, but he is. He's always been up there. Captain did in my FPL, did really well. So cheers, Isak. Like pressing. Isak can actually. I know it's not ideal, but he can play on the left if an injury crisis or whatever happens. He can play off the left. You see him do it for Newcastle. Ekitike, I still think he's raw, man. Like. In front of goal, he's similar to Nunez. He panics, doesn't seem to put away chances. And if we're going to be going for the Prem, all these cups, I don't want another Nunez.
No, that's my like. I did a post the other day on TikTok, and that's literally what I was saying. Like, I was like, I'd rather keep Nunez. People are like, oh, why he's been rubbish? I said, yeah, but this is what we're buying. We're buying a complete raw player. I don't think he won't. I think he'll be good. I just don't want to wait like 2-3 years before he hits them levels and stuff like that. Which is
I don't think we're in a position to do that either. No. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, this isn't us being arrogant or nothing, but because year in, year out, we are always up there. I don't think what is he, 22? Yeah, by all means, we could bring him in and he might get 30 goals like that. Then we're like, happy days. But then we could bring him in and it's like, oh, I'll give him a year. It's like the same with Nunez. Oh, yeah, give him next year. I'll give him next year. And it's like, we need to go in and hit the ground now. Yeah. Salah's 33. I know the rivals say it all the time. Well, this is his last year. This is his last year. Yeah. But Salah seems to be getting better with age. But with that, like, we're going to be playing a completely different system this year. You know, Frimpong is a lot more attacking. Not as defensively strong as Trent, I think. So it's been interesting to see how Slot plays with that. Is he going to play Grafenberch deeper? Even though Grafenberch did come out and say he wants to play more higher up, so that's going to be interesting with that. There's a whole world what could happen, to be honest. But I think Isak, you know, he's ready made. He could walk into that squad tomorrow. He know exactly what to do. Press over the top balls, getting in the box. You know, I mean, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, these corners now. Oh my God,
yeah,
him and Verge in the box. Happy days.
It's just like. It's almost like being selfish in a way with Isak, like the way he's probably thinking. I think he's probably thinking these thoughts will be going through his head. There's no way he doesn't know that we're after him. Like, there's not a chance. And I think like it's not. This is people are getting so confused with what I think a lot of Newcastle fans are getting confused with what we're saying. We're not disrespecting Newcastle.
Oh, 100% no. Like I love the Geordies, love what the club's about, working class club. It's just football.
Yeah, all we're saying is like Liverpool need a striker. Liverpool last season were the best team in England. Fact. Like, it's a fact. We won the league. You know, we need a striker. And like you just said, Isak fits in completely. As a complete striker. He fits straight into Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, Salah got 18 assists in the league last season, and that was playing with someone who couldn't score. Do you know what I mean? And
imagine he's got someone there that can actually put the ball in the back of the net.
Exactly. And I think, you know, Isak probably licking his lips at that and like, oh, I'm going to go and play with Florian Wirtz, 20 years. You know what I mean? The man's like, City were after him because he's like De Bruyne replacement, you know, buying wanted him. Like, that's how good Wirtz is. And then obviously you've got, well, if Luis Diaz stays, Gakpo, but then Kirk has got quite a few assists last season. Frimpong, one, he's assists and goals all over the place. Like, coming into a team that is beneficial to you rather than, you know, he doesn't, with all due respect to Newcastle, he doesn't have to try as hard at Liverpool, does he? Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to.
He's got the players around him. A couple of times last year, Isak has got them out of pretty deep waters where they've played awful and he's just bagged a goal or two and they've won 1-0 or they've got a draw. I think if Isak goes, Newcastle will suffer massively from that. Good comment here from Red Gold. Hope you're okay, mate. It says, how competitive is that now? He's in his prime. What can he win? Limited time at Newcastle compared to Liverpool. So you're right. The question, will ambition draw Isak towards Newcastle?
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, you know, Liverpool could be looking at, dare I say, a double this year, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cups, whatever. Surely he even looked at the squad last year, you know, we got knocked out of the Champions League, but we went on to lose to the winners, so it doesn't bother me. And we lost on pens, so that's just one of them. You know, got to the final where on the day Newcastle were just better. No disrespect, but I think if we play that final 10 times, we probably win 8 times. I think Newcastle fans will agree. So I think every football, I mean, look at Jack Grealish, went from Aston Villa to City, and he even said, I want to win stuff. I want to get medals. And he has, in fairness, but now look at Grealish. He's completely on the downward. So I think looking at that, Isak, he'd definitely be tempted to come to Liverpool because of, you know, the club's history and what we actually do.
It's just, that is all it is. And that's not the disrespect. Yeah. People are getting confused with disrespect to Newcastle. We're not doing that. All we're saying is, you know, the opportunities to win stuff at Liverpool are a lot higher than winning at Newcastle.
Yeah, of course.
That is just a fact. Like, Newcastle got a brilliant project at the minute. They've got the richest owners in the world, but they're not there yet. They're not yet. Yeah,
no, they're not.
Like, my man just said there. He said, you know, ambition. Isak's coming into his prime now. What does he want to do? You know, there's limited opportunities for Newcastle to probably win trophies over the next 3-4 years of his contract. Whereas Liverpool, you know, you're looking in from the inside out. You're going, oh my god, if I go there, I go in the Champions League next season. Or the season. Like that's the biggest prize of them all.
Just like Jack Grealish did though. Like we can't beat around the bush. Like Grealish was open and he said, at Villa, I'm not going to win anything. And he's right. Villa haven't won nothing since Jack Grealish left. So he's right there. Got a tweet here from A Hunter, The Guardian. It says, Liverpool have several forwards under consideration and could sculpture Eddie Howe's move for Ekitike should they decide there is no prospect for the deal of Isak. The champions will have to act quickly to sign Ekitike if that is the case. Now, we spoke the other day about these other potential forwards. The Mateta's been thrown there. I've even seen some ludicrous tweet today from a source I'm not even going to mention because they're scum about Marcus Rashford. I mean, no. No. We're moving swiftly on from that. I'm not even going to entertain the Marcus Rashford thing.
Sky Sports put that.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't believe he did that. There's other news outlets out there, but yeah.
Talking Red, if Isak was younger, then he can wait a few more years to move to a club like Liverpool. I mean, he's 25. If he does see out the reign of his contract, what will he be then? Nearly 28. We know what Liverpool are like when players start to get to 28. We're not going to be offering the big bucks, the big contracts. So it's like, I wouldn't say it's now or never because by all means we can still sign Isak when he's 28 or whatever, but Newcastle won't be getting 120 mil when he's 28, no chance. And I think that 120 mil, when you look at today's market, that is a bargain. Declan Rice over 100 million. You know, Declan Rice, great player, but not 100 million. Jack Grealish, 100 million. You know, who else have we got here? I've actually got notes. Chelsea, 115 million for Enzo. Højlund, 86 million. So, I mean, 120 mil for Isak's a bargain. I mean, we signed Salah for 42 mil. Yes, Salah wasn't the star that you could probably argue that Isak's a lot better than what Salah was when we brought Salah. And we all know what Salah's done, you know, 400 odd games, 358 goal contributions. I mean, if Isak can even get half of that, then happy days. And Isak's coming into a much better team than Salah came into. You know, we've got the likes of Wirtz, Kurt. You know, we know who we've got. It's looking good. It's looking good for us.
Yeah, definitely. It's mad to think, though, isn't it? Like, you know, we've never had this, like, experience of us buying players like this.
No, as we were saying earlier in the chat, you know, I remember the days of Ricky Lambert, you know, Mario Balotelli, like, even Sterling when he was young, he was there, but we all knew, we're like, oh, he's going to get sold straight away. And he did. Yeah. It's not just that as well. With Isak, you know, it's a bit of a weird comment, but the commercial value is there as well. You know, we've got no Swedish players. You're tapping into a new market there, new fans. The amount of fans you see,
there's a lot
just have Isak, just because, oh yeah, Swedish, whatever. Like, it's crazy.
A lot of Swedes follow Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd just be even more beneficial to that. I mean, obviously, it's not a highly populated country, but still, it's a, you know, it's quite close to England, isn't it? And it's, you know, it's good to have a Swedish player at Liverpool as well. There's good links there, and you know, with like the sort of cultures and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff, which
there's also a source as well from 90-minute Brazil. Newcastle are preparing a bid of around 70 million euros for Endrick from Real Madrid. This is mainly because of the possible departure of Alexander Isak to Liverpool. Now, Nars, what do you think of that? 70 million euros for an 18-year-old Endrick?
I think it's bull.
I think it's a bit much, that. I mean, if you look at his stats, yes, he's only 18. We get that. It's an age thing. He's very versatile. He is a good little player to watch, but only 8 goal involvements in 37 games for Real Madrid. And, you know, no disrespect, but the Premier League is a lot harder than La Liga. So if we do it all the time. So if someone scored, let's say they've scored 15 goals in La Liga, we'll go, oh, that's about 7 in the Prem, really. So if he's got 8 goal involvements in 37, I know he's had injuries and stuff, and he is still very young. So there's definitely time for him to develop there. And he could develop into an amazing player, but I just think I think Newcastle are starting to panic a little bit now.
Yeah, they are, and this is exactly what Liverpool want. This is exactly the way. We've wheeled them in. But like, you know, I've seen those like Newcastle fans tweeting about this. It does make me laugh. Or what happens if we finish this summer with Isak and Ekitike? Will Liverpool be crying? No, we won't.
It won't happen anyway.
No, we won't. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, in terms of like, it does matter. Like, we want Isak, obviously we want him, but like realistically, the show still goes on, doesn't it? And we'll find a way around it. But what we want to get Isak and take us into that level. And I think if Newcastle, I think it'll be the next week or so something will happen. If Newcastle start to, let's say, talk to Liverpool, I think it's over.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it's done, because I think once that initial, like, sort of conversations had with money, and then that's sort of like, right, you know, he's coming. Because then I think he'd be so turned by it as a player, he'll want to move then. And I think it could get messy. It could get messy.
All Isak's got to do is, which we spoke about before, I don't think he will. All he's got to do is go to the club and go, I want to leave. Then the club will go, oh shit. Then we know what's going to happen. But I think Isak's a true professional. I don't think he'll do that. He's seen the likes of Gyökeres at Sporting, you know, refusing to train, saying he's not coming back until they sell him. Isak's not that type of player. I don't think he'll do that. But it will be very interesting to see. Don't forget, guys, hit the like, subscribe if you are new. Hope you're all enjoying the show. We're going to move on now to Darwin Nunez. Now, Sky Sports reported about 2-3 days ago, actually. I think everyone does know, but we're going to speak about it anyway. Napoli have said deal off. They don't want Nunez anymore. They're pursuing another striker. Don't remember the name of the striker, so that's poor from me.
Okay.
But But yeah, we brought Nunez for 85 million euros, so we need to try and recuperate some profit from that. I do believe Saudi would be interested, but as I said, it's down to the player if he does go. Nars, what do you think of maybe Nunez to Saudi?
I think he'll end up going somewhere. I don't think he wants to go to Saudi. I've said this for months. I think he does want to leave. I think he knows that his time sort of come to an end.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say because who's going to buy him? That's the question. Who's going to buy him? Like, it's just Napoli with it very interested, wanting to get him in. Obviously, they've got a lot of cash at the minute, so they want to try and push on in Europe and stuff. Obviously, got De Bruyne in. You know, they've got that money for Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
Want to spend that money and they want to spend it on Nunez, but listen, Isak then. They want to spend it on Nunez, but I don't know. I think Liverpool have been a bit like, I don't know. It's been a bit, we want this money and that's all we're going to accept. I think, you know, as much as we say, with other clubs, like, they should lower the price for that. It's a joke. You know, we was like that with Verts. I think this is now the time that we do it with
Nunez, just to offload him because he's not who we want. And I think especially if we do bring in Isak or Ekitike, his game time is going to be so limited. I just think cash in while we can. I don't want another Trent situation where we get into like the last year and the player knows he's getting a move and he's just, look, I'm not going. I've got a contract. I think that's really toxic, and obviously that's what we've just been through with Trent. So I want to avoid that if we can. But we spent a lot on him, so I understand the club's vision of saying we need to recuperate some of that money, especially if we are looking at, you know, Isak, and we do need a centre back as well. You know, let's not forget that. Like, Kwanzaa's gone. We've got no real cover there. I'm trying to think now. Who have we got? Joe Gomez.
That's it. Endo.
And how reliable really is Joe Gomez? And Endo's not an out-and-out centre-back, is he? So, say, you know, touch wood, this does not happen because it was absolute horror. I'm not even going to say it. If a certain someone gets injured, like this in that one season, and we had the likes of, obviously, you know, he's not there now, but it was Jordan Henderson, and we had to get, like, Kabak in. No. But, look, we can't have another situation like
that. No chance. I think Gahey's the one that we're obviously looking at still, and I think, you know, that's probably something we'll put. It's so, I don't want to keep saying it, but what Liverpool are doing is finishing their attack off before they go anywhere else. That really feels like to me. You know, I feel like get the strikers position sorted.
Yeah.
Midfield's done.
Yeah.
The striker, Salah's going to AFCON as well. So I think Case is going to stay now, I believe. That's probably a little bit of news, but Mike said.
Apparently Arne Slot's looking at making him into a striker next season. If that'll benefit him or not, I'm not sure.
I think he can play long. Well, he's played long all the forward line before, hasn't he?
Yeah, he can play anywhere. Yeah.
I think he'll keep Chiesa just for the pure fact he costs 10 mil. He's on a 4-year deal, and
you might as well just, you know, fresh legs every now and then, get something out of him.
And then, I just think that the attack's the main thing to sort of, i.e. the striker position, and I think after that. Sorted, then we'll get Gahey. But I do think between sorting the attacker out, we'll be selling players. I think Harvey Elliott and Nunez will be the next two to probably not Harvey Elliott, Luis Diaz and Nunez to go next. But I genuinely think Diaz might go before Nunez. You know.
Well, speaking on Luis Diaz, obviously it was reported today by Sky Sports that Bayern Munich submitted an official bid. The proposed offer was worth 67.5 million euros and it was rejected immediately. Do you think that's fair, or do you think it has to go up?
I think it needs to go up.
Yeah.
I do. In a world, right, where you get him, I know Luis Diaz is 28, right, but in a world where Madueke's going for 50 mil. Well,
I was just going to say, yeah, you've got the likes of
Elanga.
This is where the other deals hurt the market because you've got Elanga to Newcastle, 60 million. Madueke to Arsenal, 50 million. Oh, I'm going to butcher this name now. Kvaratskhelia, the PSG guy, 70 million. And, you know, even Eze's linked with Arsenal. I know it's a release clause, but it's still there, 68 million. Diaz is better than all of them. Apart from the Kvaratskhelia guy, they're probably a little bit better than. But Diaz is better than all of them. So Liverpool are looking at that going, hang on. If they've got Elanga to 60... it has to go up.
I think Liverpool dance on £70 million. I think that's what the sort of
that's his market value. We paid 54 for him, so we're going to make profit 100%. But I think obviously with us trying to pursue these other players and positions, we need to recuperate as much money as possible to then say, right, let's go and get whoever.
It doesn't. The thing is with Diaz though, it doesn't really matter if he stays or not. Like, I mean, he is good, and I think he's brilliant. Like, I actually really do like Luis Diaz. Like, I think a lot of people give him too much stick. I think he's good. I just think he's not consistent. That's all. He has like really good purple patches, and then you don't see him for 2 months. But yeah, I think it's a very fair assessment. Like 27 goal contributions Luis Diaz got last season. Like that, find me a winger that gets that, apart from Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean? There's not many in the world that does that. At least Mo Salah.
I don't think we need to sell Diaz.
No, but
I really don't. I actually want him to stay, but
yeah,
it is a thing of, you know, the contract. He's got 2 years. It's like if he stays a year, clubs then know he's only got a year left, so I'll wait a year. Then he goes on a free. So it's all a numbers game, football. I think it all depends what Diaz actually wants. He has come out and said via David Ornstein that he is open to a move and he does want to go. So I made a video a couple of days ago. I don't want players in the club that don't want to be there.
no.
Personally, you know, Arne Slot's getting his squad together. You know, we're playing next Saturday. We've got a pre-season tour coming up. We need players in there now that are, you know, hustling around together. Obviously, the tragedy that happened at the start of the month, you know, come on, lads, let's, you know, defend this title, etc., etc. And if you've got players that are thinking elsewhere, if your head's in Bayern or Barca, just go. I'll pack your bags for you. You know, we need to be together on this. I can't have players that are thinking elsewhere. You saw it with Trent. I don't want to keep going back to him because he's gone, but you saw it with Trent around like January, February. The performances wasn't there. He was flapping his arms, head was down, and that wasn't him. So I just don't want the same thing to happen to Diaz, because Diaz on his day, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing player on his day. Really tricky winger, gets goals, gets assists, causes defenders nightmares. So I want players at the club that are going to be committed and actually going to stay. And if, as David also said, if his head is elsewhere, just go.
Yeah, I like you said, he's been great for Liverpool, and I do really like him. But yeah, if he had turned, you're gone. Like, I think he's got to go, because I just think you can't be at a club at the stature at Liverpool where you're like, oh, but I really want to go and play for Barcelona. Go then, go lad. Go.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to say something that's quite interesting. I'll ask you a question. What do you think? What's your stance on, like, obviously Bayern Munich are interested. That's obviously not his favoured place to go.
Yeah.
What's your stance on, like, Barcelona? Because, like, they've just had Nico Williams turn him down. So why haven't they gone back in for Diaz?
Can they afford him? That's the question. I think Barca are on the back foot looking at deals elsewhere. Obviously, with the Bayern Munich thing, and they're going, well, if Bayern are offering, how much did they offer? Sorry, was it? If Bayern are offering 67, but Barca are like, oh, we can only really offer 60 or 65, then are they just a Bayern outpricing Barca? Is it like a internal thing going on there, you think?
Could be, I think. It's interesting, though, because what was the reported fee that they
67.5 mil was a proposed offer, and it was rejected.
For Nico, what was it from Barca? What was the?
Oh, I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can find out for you though.
It was 70 or something, wasn't it?
I think it was something like that. Yeah, and that's when, after that bid was put in, he went and signed a ridiculous contract for like 8 or 9 years just to tie him down. I think to stop any thing going on.
Madness, isn't
it? But I think as well, this Diaz malarkey, it just throws more issues at the club, I think, because obviously, you know, we need a striker, we need a centre back.
Yeah.
Is him then going, oh, I want to leave? Are we then going, okay, right, we need a winger now as well? Like, are we then trying to look at too many players, or are we stretching ourselves too thin with the squad?
You know what? I was thinking this the other day, and I was really like going through it and like thinking it in my head. Like, you know, last season, Luis Diaz didn't really play on the wing. Like, he played up front as a
more in the middle, yeah.
And, you know, it was obviously Gakpo until Gakpo got injured.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think... I think people are seeing past Gakpo. Like, I think Gakpo last season, 10 Premier League goals before he got injured. You know, really good season. I mean, he's a good player. I don't know why people just don't get on the Gakpo train a bit more.
I know. We need to start a Gakpo train. Like and subscribe if you're a fan of Gakpo, man. Let's get them subscribers going. I'm a massive fan of Gakpo, but I do think Gakpo's best position's off the left, and I think with Kirkez and Gakpo, they'll complement each other so much better than Diaz. Obviously, Diaz likes to go long, whereas Kirkers, similar to Robertson a couple of years ago, Kirkers will be on that touchline and he'll basically be like a winger.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got Diaz, you'll have Diaz and Kirkers, they'll be too close, whereas Gakpo does like to roam into the middle and stuff.
Yeah, like I think Gakpo's got a lot better. Like, I mean, Luis Diaz has some brilliant finishes in him. And I don't think Gakpo's got the same style of finishes.
Gakpo's got more finesse, where I think Diaz, it's more rock and roll, like fast paced.
Yeah, like I mean, if Diaz has no time, he scores. But if he has, but like Gakpo, like sort of doesn't need time. If he's got time, he scores. If he needs, he's more. I think he's a little bit more clinical. I will say that than Luis Diaz. But like, I was thinking about it. Like, the main thing Liverpool need to get is strikers. And I think if Diaz does go, I am more than happy to have Gakpo and Engamoa. I think I'm really, because we've got Chiesa, remember, can play there as well.
Yeah.
I think having Engamoa, Chiesa, and Gakpo, obviously Chiesa can play right, strike, and left. Gakpo can play up front as well. But having them three for a left wing option isn't bad, and I think Engamoa can. It's just look. We've seen him play at Preston. We've seen him a few times now.
Yeah.
He looks like he's ready to go. Like ready to get some games behind him, and I'm all for it.
That Preston game, to be fair, you think of pre-season, you're like, are the players going to be fit? They're not going to be up for it. It was a really good game of football, I thought. The players looked fast. They looked on it. They looked, people say, oh, it's only Preston. You play who's in front of you, regardless. It can be Blackpool. It can be Bayern Munich. You play the same way. A game is a game. And you're all trying to get your fitness and stuff. So I'm actually really happy the way the lads played.
Yeah.
It does, obviously, going back to the Nunez thing with his goals. I know we said before, Nunez, he had a good game. Then it's like, Nunez is back. But I think we've got to just let that go now, because it's every season. Oh, yeah, give him one more. Oh, yeah, one more year. And I do actually think, when Slot came in with the Nunez stuff, I thought, Slot's style will suit Nunez a lot more. I just don't think it has. Me personally, I just don't think it has.
I think it's to do. I've said this with Nunez. Like, he's had. Arne Slot's world class. He's won the Premier League. You have to be, right.
Yeah.
He's had two world class managers. Klopp, probably one of the best the Premier League's ever seen, and he's not worked under two of them. So a real difficult thing to say. The thing with Nunez, why he sucks everyone back in, it's because he gets chances all the time. Like, he's actually a good player in terms of like the rest of his game is good. It's just it's
just when he's in the box, just keep him out the box and he's all right.
It's the main bit though. The main bit of his game, which ultimately is what a striker is. Like, he's not amazing at. It's just so wild to me. And he's a nightmare for defenses. Like, you can see him, like, when Nunez comes on, like, can't be hard. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go on, man.
Yeah.
And Nunez is a one-game wonder. Like, he'll suck you back in. Yeah. He'll have an unreal game. He'll do two brilliant finishes, and then the next game, he's kicking it into.
Mate, I've seen him do like Ronaldo chops and step overs and stuff, then curl it top corner. Then next minute, Salah will pass it to him and he'll slide it over the bar. And it's like, mate, what are you doing? The PSG penalty thing still frustrates me. Obviously, I don't want to dwell on games, but why he stepped up, I knew. I'm sure you knew. Everyone in Anfield knew. I'm pretty sure Nunez knew. Fuck, I'm gonna miss. Because I walked out the room. I was like, nah, I'm not watching that. It was especially when you've got players like Van Dijk and people that can actually strike a ball a lot better. But I didn't get it. Jones's penalty was awful as well. But
yeah, both of those are bad. And what got me was taking McAllister off. Literally, the second pen taker in the team.
I know.
He never missed a penalty. Mad.
I really rate McAllister. I do. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, first game is away at Bournemouth.
Was it Brentford in it?
No, Bournemouth first game, I believe. It's either home or away.
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what team Slot does actually put out, because obviously now we've got so many questions flying about. Is he going to change formation for the players coming in? Is it going to be Mama Vastili? Is it going to be Alisson? Is it going to be Nunez or Chiesa? I think whatever team Slot puts out, that will be his team. He's similar to Klopp in that aspect where he doesn't really rotate the squad. We saw towards the end the likes of Grafenberg, McAllister got to around March and they were done. They couldn't run. They couldn't play a full 90. So I think whatever team Slot does put out will be that'll be our squad then. And it's interesting to see because if you ask me now to pick my starting 11, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know our best 11 at the minute.
The only positions I would say, in all honestness, can't speak. Only two positions that I would say are going to be rotated a lot. I'd say maybe possibly three. I would say. Yeah. Szoboszlai in midfield and and Gravenberch. I think because we've got 5 high quality players there now, there's going to be swaps and stuff. Jones as well, obviously. There's going to be a lot of rotation in that, I think, next season. But the main two positions, probably fullbacks. I think. You know, Kirkes, some games, Robertson, some games. You know, then it's going to be Frimpong or Bradley. I think it depends on opposition.
Well, we've still got Tsimikas as well. I actually thought he'd be offloaded, but there's no talk anything there. So going in the year with 3 left backs, I don't hate it, but I don't love it as well. I think you only need 2 left backs really. And you look at Tsimikas and Robertson, they can't play centre back either of them. I know Robert has a couple of times, but I think that's like going to be for like desperate measures. And they're both left-footed. You know, I always think right footers are better on the left than the other way around. Obviously, Mo Salah contradicts that massively, but being a fullback's a lot different. You don't have as much time to sort of do your like you've got it. Yeah.
I think Tsimikas. I think what's a good idea. Why don't we sell Tsimikas to Newcastle for a backup for 40 million? Yeah.
Then we'll have Isak.
Nah, I mean, I was surprised that no one's gone and got Tsimikas. Now, I believe this might be something this happened a couple of months ago. I don't know if you remember that Brighton were interested in Tsimikas.
Yeah.
So, rumour has it that United want Espetinyan.
Oh, okay.
But whether they revisit Tsimikas...
That could get the ball rolling, yeah.
So, if United do buy Espetinyan, they'll probably pay like 80 million for him because of
120 mil or something.
They're just finish. But
got an interesting question here from Hell's Hustler. I hope I said your name right. It says, guys, your title states that NUFC have a decision to make. They already have Isak and they've said he stays. They've also put a second bid in on Hugo Ekitike for 100 mil euros, remeeting the release clause. For me, I think that's Newcastle just trying to flex muscles that they don't really have because we've sort of bullied them into saying, give us Isak as we're having Ekitike, and so they're trying to pursue Ekitike now. But for me, I don't really know about that, to be honest. I just think I don't know what Newcastle are doing, to be honest. With that, I honestly don't.
I mean, look, if even Isak doesn't come this season, which it could be a big possibility that he doesn't. Ekitike, what happens next summer if Newcastle don't stay? And put it this way, you better hope that Newcastle, if you're a Newcastle fan, you better hope that you stay in that Champions League space.
They were actually lucky to get UCL football this year, wasn't it? Was it to do with the Villa game or something? Was it Villa United or something?
Yeah.
Something happened with that, so they went in on like goal different or so. It was something really skeptical because they were like in it out of it. Yeah. So they did manage to get in it, but yeah, man, I think if Newcastle don't get top 4, top 5, we've seen it ourselves. I mean, going back a couple of years ago now, Luis Suarez, he was our best player. Him and Sturridge, whatever, and Barca come knocking. You kind of bracing yourself anyway when you. No disrespect to Newcastle, when you're not, they are a big 6, I think. When they're not up there competing year in, year out, and you've got 1 or 2 world-class players, you've got to brace yourself going, they won't be around long. Yeah. So I think there is that thing. I don't know why they're acting like, no, you can't have, like, come on, like, if I'm a Newcastle fan now, and obviously it's easier to say when you're not, I'm looking at 120 mil. Look at Coutinho for us years ago. Look at how Coutinho revamped our squad. Van Dijk, Robertson, Alisson. The rest is history. Newcastle should look at that. I know it's a different market, but Newcastle can look at that and go, whoa, we can, rebuild a squad here. That they need to rebuild. Obviously, Livramento linked to a move away to Man City as well. They're going to need a right back. They need a goalie. I don't know if they're still chasing James Trafford. I think that's gone a bit quiet. They need a good couple of players, man.
realistically, like play devil's advocate here with Newcastle, right? You get Ekitike, you sell Isak to Liverpool, you get 130 mil, let's say 130 mil. How much you could get with 130 mil is mad. Like you could the squad better than it is now with Isak. That sounds
100%.
That, but it's true. Like you've got Ekitike, so you've got your man. Then you can go and improve on positions. Like Trippier is like 35. As your backup right back and stuff.
Yeah.
And like Botman, I mean, as good as Botman is, I've never seen him string 5 games together. Like you go and get
no.
It makes more. But it doesn't make sense. But it can make sense if you want to make it make sense. You know what I mean?
It's like a Coutinho thing for us. I know I keep saying it, but that is the perfect example. We all didn't want him to go, but then you weighed up the options. Okay, a couple of €100, or keep him that he's not going to be happy, if you know what I mean. And then we sold him. Then look who we brought in. And look at where we are now with the manager we got. Just had a report come in as well from BBC Sport. Apparently, Liverpool are interested in Ollie Watkins and Visser. What are your thoughts on that, Naj? I tell you, Ollie Watkins, I don't hate. I don't love, but I don't hate. I bit rogue. I'd probably prefer Watkins to Ekitike.
No, I do. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Just his age, not on side, is it? Like he's 30.
29, yeah.
As a stopgap, great player.
Yeah.
Visser, for me, I really like Visser. I really do like Visser. Like he's an absolute handful, and he's just like he's Yeah, he's a great player. Like the only thing is that I wouldn't say it's a risk actually. He's quite injury prone. Both of them are quite injury prone. I'll say that.
Yeah, they both are. Yeah.
But Visser's like I don't know. Visser's what is he 25?
Visser is 28.
Is he?
Yeah, 28. 1996.
Well, they're both similar age. I don't think Watkins will cost as much as Visser just for the pure fact that Watkins is coming to this. I think he's his last 2-year contract.
Well, Watkins has got a £40 million value. Like that's what he's valued at. Which for me, is really good. Trying to find his contract now. 2028. So he's got 2 years.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
With Watkins, he's going to be asked to do a completely different role that he does at Villa. He's not going to be the main man at Liverpool. He's probably not going to play rotated between. Like GVC, Jayden Dan's got some minutes this year. He's going to be rotated between. If Diaz stays, it's going to be him, Diaz. Dan's, Chiesa. Watkins ain't going to be in, week out, asking to play 50 games and get 30 goals like he does at Villa. Well, not done, but asked to. So I think the injury thing, I don't think there'll be as much pressure on him, to be honest. I think he'll thrive underneath that pressure.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, go on.
I agree what you said, like Ekitike. What would you rather have now? Watkins or Ekitike? That'd be Watkins every single day of the week for me. Like, I just think he's never played outside of England as well. So
yeah, I'd really like to see him. To be fair, I've really rated him for a while. He's quick. Penalty taker as well. I know we've got plenty of them, but going back to that PSG game, if you've got 4 or 5 lads that can actually strike a penalty, maybe we don't lose that game.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great player, Ollie Watkins. I've been a big fan of him for a long time. Actually, like he's done very well at Villa.
But
again, sort of not this. People will probably disagree with me on this, but again, someone who's sort of in the position like Isak is. They're at a similar club. They're, I mean, obviously Watkins is a lot older than Isak.
Yeah.
But, if Liverpool were interested in Watkins, what's he going to do? This is his last move, essentially. Big club, isn't it, really? Like,
well, yeah, we spoke about the age thing, 29. We know what we're like as a club. Once you really get to 28, you're not having a big money. And I think maybe even Isak will be thinking that. I mean, I know he's only 25, but if he sees like his contract 2 years, he's going to be 28. Maybe he could go abroad to like a, Real Madrid. They seem to tap up players that are out of contract. You've got one big move left in you, and I think if he stays at Newcastle, he'll regret it. But the thing is, I've just got a quick comparison up here because I've had a comment coming from what's it? I can't say that name. Sorry. But Ekitike is much better than Watkins, though.
No.
Yeah,
No.
The age thing plays a big factor, but Watkins a lot more experience. You know, Watkins has played in the national team, he's played in Champions Leagues and stuff. You know, Watkins is in his prime, whereas Ekitike, you know, he's still a kid.
Disrespectful to Watkins, that I'm not gonna lie. That's very Ollie Watkins, right, is I think he's the first Villa player to get to 100 goals in the Prem or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Because he scored it this season, and I remember him getting like a thing for it. It was something to do with scoring a certain amount of goals, but it was a lot. I think it was like 100 or something like that. But
yeah,
Ollie Watkins is great. I think people forget, like, you know, this season he was good, but I think the season before, you know, people forget, like, Phil Foden won the Player of the Year, but he didn't deserve it because Ollie Watkins was the best player in the league that season.
I think it's just because Foden's at City, he's had like big club bias, hasn't he?
Yeah, like how many assists did Watkins have? Like 13 or something, 20 odd goals.
I can get it up here. Yeah, something like that.
Like he had
16 goals, 8 assists in the Prem, but he got 4 assists in Champions League.
That's it. Yeah, he was all, across all comps. He was like really good, wasn't he, Ollie Watkins?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he is 29, but I think people get a bit like put off by being someone's 29. Like,
as I said before, that I think that's what Liverpool need. I think we need to go for a player that's like ready, just bang, ready to go. There's no like settling in period or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. I mean, you know, football is such a if, buts, and maybes because Ekitike is only 22. So it's like, oh, what if he can turn out to be better than Watkins? But it's like you're playing an if game again. Like we said this about Nunez. Remember, ludicrous to think about now, but when Nunez signed, it was who's better, Nunez or Haaland? Say that now, you get your head kicked in realistically because they're both levels away from each other, me personally. Talking Reds there, Damo has said, what's he said here? I like Worcester pulling Brentford, lose it in Buemo. See, that's where I think it's unrealistic because, as I said, Brentford are going to lose him. I don't think they're going to get rid of Visser as well. I'm pretty sure they lost Ben Mee as well, so they've lost the spine. They've lost the spine of the team.
Looks like Nathan Collins could be going as well, doesn't it?
It's not looking good for him. I know they've brought in Callagher, but a goalie's not going to keep you up, really, is he? They've signed Henderson, who, you know, a massive Henderson fan. I don't mind him going to Brentford, but as I said about Callagher, Henderson's not going to be a guy to keep you up in the league, I don't think.
No.
More breaking news as well. Well, breaking news. A couple of hours old now. Liverpool were because we've had another twist in the tail. Liverpool were closing in on the signing of Salford City youngster Will Wright, the 17-year-old, for a 6-figure fee. That was reported by Alex Crook, who was a chief football correspondent, and Jacobs Ben, a sports broadcaster. But it's come out now in the last hour that Arsenal basically swooped in and took that deal. So, I'm not going to lie, I don't know a great deal about the kid. You know, Salford striker Will Wright, 17. Arsenal hoping they've clinched a transfer with 250k plus add-ons after Liverpool only offered 100k. As I said, don't know a lot about the kid, but I think, you know, we're not daft. We've got really smart recruitment. We've obviously seen something in that guy that we like. Striker, both-footed, I believe. So what do you think of that?
I've seen a few clips on Twitter of him. It looks decent. I mean, what can you say though? He's like 10 young, and he's playing.
Yeah, 17. He's going to be one of them where obviously he gets loaned out, maybe makes the odd Carabao Cup game here and there. A bit like Ben Doak a couple of years ago. You know, when I think it was Wolves, Ben Doak came on against, and everyone was like, "Who the hell is this?" or "What the hell?"
Yeah.
So it could be just a similar player to that, but I don't think there's anything major going in there. If he goes to Arsenal, good luck, I guess. Bit off topic here. Did you see the Liverpool training video they put out the other day? Well, yesterday, I think.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I got to say, I think Verts looked really good.
Yeah, he did.
In training. He looked really good.
Watching Rio and Gamo absolutely smoked for him.
Yeah. It is a bit interesting to see how defensively weak Frimpong is. Like, I'm not one of these. Like, I don't... Once the club's linked with someone, as I just said about that Will Wright, I'm not going to blow smoke at their arse and go, yeah, they're sick, yeah. Like, I didn't watch a great deal of Frimpong. Obviously, awful take this, but you see stuff on FIFA, you see his ratings, you see clips on TikTok and Twitter here and there, and you do go, okay, he's all right. But yeah, watching him in training, it's a bit like, oh my god, like
I don't think. Actually,
yeah.
What I meant by that, I didn't mean it was a tackle for it. It was more how good Zangamoa. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, compliment to him.
Yeah. You know, obviously Frimpong is like stupidly fast. I've seen the video of him racing Chiesa and just
yeah. I think he's one of them that can definitely rely on his speed more than like I think he'll stand you up, and if you knock it past him, not getting there before me. So I think it's not one of them where he's like, he has to jockey you and get a foot in, because if he doesn't do that, confident in his ability to beat you, and obviously he's going to have either Konate or whoever next to him in defence to back him up.
Kyle Walker with goals,
Well, Kyle Walker to Burnley, I think that's an interesting signing. It's going to be very unusual for Kyle Walker. He's not somebody who's going to be used to, they're going to be in a relegation scrap. He's used to, winning trophies and getting to finals and stuff. It's going to be the exact opposite of Burnley, I actually think.
Yeah. Be interesting. Going from one end of the league to the other.
Yeah. So, just quickly then, let's take away all signings and all transfers. The league starts tonight, let's say. Who is finishing top 5?
Oh, good question.
No signing. So whatever squad we're going into the season with Nunez up top, let's say.
I'd still have us as favourites, to be honest. Just from the quality we've signed.
Yeah.
You think about it, we won the league with the exact same team, without Wirtz, without Kerkez.
I mean, yeah, Chiesa didn't do anything, so.
So we literally won the league with this team, so it doesn't matter. Like, I still put us down as favourites. Now, I don't know between City and Arsenal. I can't put my finger on it right. So, if it all depends on what 2 players. If Haaland hits the ground running this season, doesn't get injured, I think City finish second.
Yeah.
Gyökeres comes in and just starts banging away, just scoring loads of goals.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arsenal finish second. Now, you're not getting anything finishing second, obviously, we know that, but
Arsenal fans know that.
Yeah. But I think it's difficult to say between them two. I almost have and this is no offence to Arsenal and it's like that, but I just think Arsenal, there's something about them that just sort of worries me at the minute. If they could drop off massively. Do you know what I mean? I just have that.
Yeah. I always get that vibe from them. And this is no banter or nothing, but they do just tend to, they can't do it. Famously, it comes back to the season before last. They drew at the Etihad. They played for a 0-0. Arteta, no one can say they played for a 0-0. They set up low block, park the bus, we're not moving. And then that game against Villa when Ollie Watkins chipped the goalie, that's where their league went. And they always just tend to bottle it as they're slowly getting there. So I think it's a mentality issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can say it's not an Arsenal channel, so we can't say Arteta out, Arteta in, whatever. That's up for them to waffle about. I'm not bothered by them. I'm happy with my club. But yeah, as you said, I think it's too early to say because the signings. I think if looking at it on paper, Madueke, Gyökeres, if they can get Eze as well. But then again, where does Eze play? Because you're talking about Martinelli going out as well. There's so many things for Arsenal.
I think what Helser said there is probably what I would say. Maybe I'd swap Newcastle around with Tottenham or Villa. I think people are sleeping a little bit on Tottenham though. I really do. I think Thomas Frank. I put it this way: I ain't looking forward to playing Spurs this season because
he's a very, very well organised manager. I've seen mixed reviews on Tottenham fans. People saying they should have kept Dange, they should have not, whatever. That's not for us to talk about. But I see Thomas Frank as more of a reset. Look, I like Dange as a manager. Don't get me wrong. I think he was a great guy. They had a lot of injuries last year, but Frank is a lot more up there. Whereas I think Ange is more of a fan manager, if you know what I mean. He's more of go pay. Go. He's more direct. Whereas Frank, I think he understands the game a bit more. He knows when to drop off, whereas I think Ange, I'm not comparing him to Klopp at all, but stylistically, very much one gear. That's how we're playing.
Yeah.
And obviously come back to bite him in the arse. Changed it up for the final, which he won. But if he'd have done that sooner, he might not have been sacked. But anyway, yeah. I think it is very interesting. I'd probably have to go Liverpool top. Probably City. I think if Foden can get firing again as well, because he had a really poor season, don't forget. I do want to put Chelsea, but this Club World Cup, what rest do they have in really?
They've got 1,000 players anyway, so.
Well, yeah, they have. They can just change the whole squad every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the episode, guys. I believe it's been a really good show. Don't forget to drop that like and subscribe. We're live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Probably be more twists and changes. We'll probably be linked with another player, maybe Isak, or we don't know. So I appreciate everyone being in, guys. Obviously, make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell your mates, tell your neighbour.